issue that our leaders can no longer ignore. I'm here today because I have two daughters, age 8 and 6, and like so many parents, I live with a deep sense of unease and anxiety about their futures in the face of climate change. The science, as we all here know, is authoritative and clear. The coal, oil, and gas that we use to power our society is pumping so much carbon pollution into the air that if we stay on our current path, our children's and grandchildren's future will be defined not by a sense of possibility and opportunity, but by the need to respond to the horrendous impacts of climate change. My #1 job is to protect my children. But for so long, I have felt helpless to protect them from climate change. People like me, and so many of us, are told that if we want to have an impact on climate change, we should reduce our carbon footprint and vote right. But we know that changing our personal energy use, as important as it is not enough. We need systemic change. And given how corrupt our political system is today, voting makes me feel small. Yeah. I am not Bill Koch, and I don't have millions of dollars to spend on the political process. But it turns out there's good news. Oh, good. Because there is something I can do to protect my children. I can join together with so many mothers across this great state and across the country, and so many of you. And together we can build a powerful movement that will change the course of history and make sure that our children have the kind of future that they deserve. Yeah. Too many of our industry leaders, like Bill Koch, ignore the reality of climate change. They refuse to overhaul their business models to plan for a different future. And they choose instead to spread misinformation and corrupt our political process. And too many of our political leaders heed pressure from industry and respond to short-term political gain. These industry and political leaders are all operating under the cynical and sinister assumption that we will sit on the sidelines while they protect their profits and their political positions. We come here together today to reject that assumption. And we will reject it again and again and again and again. We come together to say that the time of standing by is over. We are joining together to build the movement that we need, a movement that will change the political landscape and push for a rapid and complete transition away from fossil fuels to clean energy, thus protecting children for generations to come. Yeah. So today, as mothers out front, we have a few simple messages. For Governor Patrick, as you enter your last year as governor of this great state of Massachusetts, leave a lasting legacy for your children and all of our children by making Massachusetts the leader nationwide in transitioning away from fossil fuels. This means not just setting aggressive targets, but taking aggressive actions starting today. Yes. For the Barnstable Town Council, stop allowing your position on Cape Wind to be dictated by the oil billionaire Bill Koch. Instead, become the leaders in a new revolution in this great state, where we have seen a lot of revolutions, turning this state into a beacon of hope for clean, renewable energy. And for Bill Koch and other business leaders, keep your dirty money out of our democracy. Stop spending spending your millions to try to keep us addicted to dirty energy so that our children and grandchildren will have to face the terrible consequences of climate change. Instead, act like responsible parents. Keep your children and your grandchildren safe. Use your vast wealth to develop and promote clean, renewable energy. And for all our business and political leaders, we gather here today out of a sense of outrage. Outrage at the path that our society is currently on, burning fossil fuels as if there were no consequences. And outrage at how willing our leaders are to sacrifice our children's future for profits and political gain. We come together out of a profound sense of urgency because the window to avert the most disastrous consequences of climate change is a short one, measured in years, not decades. But we also stand here today with a sense of hope. We are hopeful because we are many, and we are growing in number, and we will keep marching, we will keep writing letters, we will keep calling, we will keep protesting, some of us will keep getting arrested, we will keep working and fighting until we are on a path that protects our children and our grandchildren's future. Thank you very much.
Before Melodico goes on, we have a brief word from my friend Ben Trulio. Ben was in charge of fundraising for this fine event. Woo!